Good morning everyone. I am Sonal. As you all know, today I have got an opportunity to become a resource person and present my in-house training on the given topic preschool teaching methodology. I hope it will be an interactive session and we all will look after many things like next step. So, what preschool means? What is the purpose of preschool? Is preschool and kindergarten the same? Why preschool is important? Different preschool teaching methods and techniques used worldwide, and the 5 methods about preschool teaching and the 25 important play teaching rules to use in your teaching space. Now the question is preschool important? Why the schooling is called as preschool? So let's see what is preschool. Preschool, as the name suggests, in and during their initial years of development. It is an early childhood program run by professionally trained adults in which learning is combined with play. When a 3-year-old is able to go to the school, preschool teaching, and he has a good relationship and interaction with his trained teachers and teachers according to the children's activities, eligibilities and interests. They start teaching to them, but it is not a conditional teaching because that 3 years old child are not able to know about the books, math, science and everything. So we teach them according to the language. In the language we start teaching them maths. We don't tell them 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. We ask them, you have 2 pencils, I have given you 1 more pencil, then you must count them. So this is called unconditional teaching, which is given by a trained teachers to that child. The parents, they learn to build trusting relationships with adults. Preschool is the first experience of the child in a structured setting to learn the importance of sharing and learn the things which follows personal growth. Although a child learns to talk while at home in a preschool continuous interaction. We all know that the child, when he grows, his first teacher is called their mother or their family. But after that, when he starts going to the school, that preschool, we all have the confusion: is the preschool and the kindergarten are same or not? No one knows that they are different. But in the next slide, we will also look after that what is preschool and what is the kindergarten. They are totally different because in preschool, without any books, we only teach them according to the eligibility, according to their interest. But in the kindergarten, it is conditional teaching because there are many rules which they have to follow. But in the preschool teaching, there is no rule. We have to teach them according to them. Totally, it depends on the child. But in the kindergarten, it doesn't depend on the child. It depends on their syllabus. They have syllabus from 3 years old itself. So preschooling and the kindergarten all are different. Although a child learns to talk while at home in a preschool continuous interaction and exposed with children of the same age group and with teachers helps them to enhance their communication skills. It involves transformation of mental images to languages so that thoughts and knowledge can be transformed into information. As I told before that they only know the language, they don't know what's maths, what's science. So in the preschool teaching we ask them to learn in language. We ask them to, you have 2 pencils, 1 I have given. They don't have the language ideas also. We talk to them and we have a nice conversation per day as a trained teachers do. So they learn all the language skills and they also know how to form the information and transfer to their teachers. So exposed to rich language through role plays, read aloud sessions and stories help to enhance the child's vocabulary, thereby promoting language skills. We teach them that poem by action. We can develop by poem and the vocabulary. They will know which word means what. They know everything but they don't have language to express them. But a trained teacher helps them to do all this. As rightly said by Albert Einstein, that play is the highest form of research process, right, especially with this age group, because they learn to find answers to their numerous questions. confidence gained by learning in a playful manner adds to the personality development of the child. Equality early childhood education provides children with cognitive behavior and social skills. They can't learn at home because after all we all know that the parents they want to send their child to the school because they can't give that environment at their home. So they just want to send them school to start their preschooling to give them that environment and to increase their personality. Equality early childhood education provides children with cognitive behavior. Therefore, to build readiness for learning and immerse the child in inquiry-based learning, preschool education plays a critical role. Now, let's see the first slide. They have a vocabulary of around 300 words in the age of 3. They can listen attentively to short stories. They can complete puzzles of a few pieces. They are able to describe actions in pictures. They can take turn in games. They can express affection and wide range of emotions. They can turn pages in book one at a time. They can build a tower of more than a few blocks. And the first thing completed, which was eligibility and their interest. And the second thing by which a teacher can make the student educated is play and again play. By playing with them or by giving them opportunity to play, we can give a wide range of opportunities to them to learn the many things. Like one of the hardest things to do to get used as first time teacher of toddlers is the concept of non-teaching. At this age, kids learn through exploring the world around them and imitating people. And all of this is usually done through play. As such, the teacher should see herself or himself as more of playmate than a teacher. Sit with your students and explore things, play games and sing songs together, have fun and laugh a lot. Your students won't play that you are doing this in a strange new language. They will try to talk to you in their language, and this is fun. Answer back them in English and focus on sharing nouns, verbs, adjectives from your own language. The teacher must not give them the definition and ask them to learn this and learn on going. They must say, what's your name? He will say his name and you must say them that all these names are noun. They will understand this in the proper way. And again you ask them, if you have to write an essay or if you are talking about anyone, will you repeat the name all the times? They will answer no. He will say that he will use he, she or it. Then you have to say them that he, she and it are the things which are called pronoun. They will understand this in this simple language. So the teachers must never force to the students to learn the definitions. And the third one is by short activities. We must also make the child educated by the short activities. Like toddlers have a short attention span and lost interest in activities very quickly. It's not that your lesson activity is boring, it's just that there are so many other fun and interesting things in their immediate environment that demand their attention. Basically, you are completely with everything else in the world for their attention. So, changing activities frequently helps to focus their little minds on what you are doing with them. Make sure that each activity lasts no more than 5 to 10 minutes. Therefore, plan for lots of activities and always have a fun. Have a few extra up your sleeve just in case. Your lesson doesn't have to have 10-15 brand new activities. You can recycle the activities from previous lesson. Sing song, read a story, play a game, play with them, play with toys with them, or just jump around a bit. I always try to book and calm activities with energy burning activities to stop them getting restless. And the fourth one is allow a parent to join their child the lesson. Always teach both toddler and one of the parents together in the class. Usually we have to teach the mother, but it can sometimes even by the grandparents, because as we all know that the child is near to his mother or to their grandparents. So your students won't suffer from separation anxiety, and it will make your life as the teacher a whole lot easier. The parent will help with bad behavior and keep their child focused on the activities. Have the parents sit next to their child and take an active part in the lesson. They can help with coloring the cards, coloring the sheets, dancing with them, singing a song with them, playing games, and everything else in the lesson. They are also there to help out with any little few words in every lesson. They are not to introduce more than 3 new words in one lesson. They will have a hard time remembering them. Some teachers feel that they are not really teaching their students much if all that they have covered is 3 new words. But you will be surprised at how much more the kids are talking in. Every time you talk your classroom, they take in some of what you say and always amazed when students come out with phrases without being prompted that they have picked up from me. Then there are the songs and stories that also add to their lexicon. The seventh one is sing lot of songs. Kids love singing and good songs and doing all the gestures and dance moves. They are sponges for learning songs. Many a time we revisit a song and I am having to watch my students for words because I have forgotten some of them. Introduce them to the new words. For example, let's go to the zoo for animals. To start or end a section of the lesson, for example, the hello song and the goodbye song. As an energy burner or a calm down song, always review new songs and keep reciting them. You can also take requests. Students love telling you what song they want to sing. And the last one is use lot of visuals. Students really learn when their attention is engaged visually. Make sure you have lot of flashcards, pictures of magazines, posters on the walls, and lots of toys and real objects. Always pass objects around and play simple games. As much as they can catch, as touching and interacting them with the objects really helps them to learn. Play lots of games. The teacher is also insisted to play lots of games with their students because by playing games, the teachers make a relationship between them and the students, and this always helps in the learning teaching process. Toddlers can read and write, but they are master game players. Games can be really simple and shouldn't be too competitive. Make sure that everyone is a winner. There are just a few ideas for simple fun games. We must not keep any end line that who will finish this will be the winner and other will be the losers. By this we will stop teaching them and they will never get interest in them. So the teachers are insisted to not make any end line. Now come to the next slide. What is the purpose of preschools? Now why it's needed? Preschool provides an environment for children to explore, gain a sense of self, play with peers and build self-confidence. Children learn they can accomplish tasks and make decisions without help of their parents. In the home, the students can't do all these things. They can't play with the peer group. They will play only with 2 or 3. But in the preschooling, they will get a proper group in which they will study, they will play, they will have a relationship, they will know what the friends are. And because of all this, all the students in their childhood are eager to send to the preschools because the family never provides that environment which preschools can provide. So they are sent to the preschools and it's the responsibility of the trained teacher and the preschools to develop their child, make them how to learn, help them to make any decision, help them how to develop themselves. Next. Now, is preschool and the kindergarten same? In the US, preschool provides informal education before starting schools, whereas kindergarten is the first stage of compulsory education offered at the age of 5. This is the main difference between preschool and kindergarten. As we had a conversation in the starting that preschool and kindergarten are not the same. In preschool, the child will start going in the preschool at the age of 3, but in the kindergarten, the child will start their schooling in the age of 5. In preschool, there is no compulsory education, no compulsory books, no compulsory subjects. But in the kindergarten, there is a proper education, proper books, they have to complete their books. The main difference are not yet capable of performing. Here the first one is playway method. As we also know that the playway method is the best method of teaching because there are 25 playway methods mainly by which we can teach the student that counting, capital alphabets, small alphabets and all the things. We will discuss about that in the next slide. The playway method, in which the first method is kick the letter cup. We must take a ball and put the ball in the front of the children and cover it with a cup. And we have to write the alphabets in the cup with a permanent marker. And the child will stand there. He will come and kick that cup. And the cup will come out and the ball will come out and he will see which letter is written there. And there are 25 playway method. We will discuss about that. In the worldwide, all the teaching institutes believe that the playway method is the best method. In this method, the children participate and also take interest and have fun. Next. Reggio Emilia method. Another school of thought or method of teaching adopted is this method, evolved in Italy. In Italy, this approach also believes in teaching through activities. How the approach differs in the type of activities and the core values it promotes. The approach believes in and is aimed at enabling the child to make their own place in society. It encourages communication with others, forming relationships, and promotes the child's development. This classroom acts mainly as a catalyst that consists of material facilitating learning. The children are encouraged to communicate through music, art, dance, writing, and more. The parents are also involved in deciding the curriculum and the entire process of the child is recorded. In the first method, we learned that we have to teach the children by the playway method. But in this method, which is developed in mainly Italy, but now it is used in worldwide. Every country and every preschool is hiring this method. By this method, we ask to the student to color, to draw a line, to color, to draw a circle, to draw a square and color them. By this, they will know how to draw the lines and how to color them. They will also know the names of colors, mainly that bold colors like green, blue, red, orange. By coloring, they will ask because the student is in active mode. He will ask which color is this, and the trained teacher will say them which color is this, and by this they will know the color's name. Next, Waldorf method. Waldorf method is also another popular method of teaching, evolved in Germany. That Reggio method was in Italy, and this Waldorf method started from Germany. The method focuses on enabling the child to grow through imagination. This school of thought believes in developing the ability of thinking and imagining among children. A child must be able to use their imagination and create through it. Nowadays, we often, many schools have started the conversation classes. In that classes, the teacher asks them, the teacher first say them a story and then they ask them, if you will present them, what will you do? Then the student will think about, he will imagine and he will give the answer. By this, we can develop their imagination level, and this is very important. Mostly the imagination of the students start from the age of, after the age of 11. But the teachers must try in their childhood to make them imagine. Thus, the children are told stories as I told now, taken from box, made to play games and create toys out of available material. The method of teaching kids grounds itself on the fact that reading and writing are not introduced to children of such as knowledge, and their education must be entirely oral and replied with creative imagination. The students of the age 3, 4, 5, we must never ask them to write. and she told that we must not have any category in which we have to teach them that like syllabus in 3 months we have to complete this, in the whole year we have to complete all this. Maria Montessori said that we must teach according to them. If the syllabus is not completed, it's not the point. If they are eligible to complete, then only we must complete them. If they are not eligible, we must teach that syllabus in the 2 years, but never force them. If we force them, they will stop that learning process and the development of the child will be stopped there, and he will be all at the wrong direction. The activities are more work-based rather and then play-based. In the Montessori method, the activities are not placed on the play work. They are on the working. The Maria Montessori said, if the child will work, he will understand how to work. If the child will do that work, he will know how to do. But in the play method, we must teach all the things by playing. We must not ask them to do themselves. But in Montessori method, we must ask them to do themselves. By doing this, they will start reducing their errors and promoting concentration abilities among children. Also, since it aims to improve the concentration abilities of children, the classroom and material is aesthetically designed and gives a home-like feeling to children. We all know that children is morely connected to their family, to their home. So in the preschooling, the trained teachers must give them a space, the environment like the home, that then they will share their feelings, they will communicate properly, they will show their interest. Next. And the last is bank street method. Bank street method is also among various methods adopted by teachers to enable children to learn. The method aims to overall development of child through first-hand experience. The primary difference between bank street method and play method is the nature of the child. Next. Now let's see 25 fun literacy activities for preschoolers. The first activity is the kick the letter cup. In this activity, this is a ball theme alphabet activity. As I told before, it is fun way to practice identifying letter sounds while kicking a ball. Kids will love the chance to move and learn because, as we all know, children like balls. They will also like when we plan learning activities that gives them a chance to throw or kick a ball. As a result, this ball theme alphabet activity will be highly enjoyed by them and after playing this game, as a result, the child will able to identify letters by name. The child will able to identify letters by letter sounds. Develop gross motor skills like balance and coordination while kicking the ball. And the second one is in activity color sorting letters. In this activity, it is a great activity developed for the preschooling. It is a great activity to develop the students' fine motor control, coordination, concentration, learning about the colors. Sorting and matching colors is simple to set up and will arouse any child's curiosity to play and have a fun. Sorting objects, matching the shapes, coloring them and coloring the pictures build visual perception and thinking skills. Children can generally sort into colors before they can identify the name of the colors. Learning to categorize and classify helps memory skills, and here the question arises what order should we teach colors? So, the order of the teaching colors is first ask them to draw a circle, after they will complete the circle, ask them form a sentence wall. Like this, one by one, each student will go and he will arrange one word from the bottles by taking the alphabet, and he will learn how he must learn the words. And the next one is crocodile circle. In the crocodile circle method, we must draw a crocodile on a page and attach it with a rubber. The student will wear the crocodile mask. It will work as a mask. The student will wear the crocodile mask and other student will be in the front of him. One student will sound B and this student will go and catch him. By this play, the student will able to recognize the sounds from where it's coming, and by this way the personality of that student and the imagination skill of that student will be increased. And the next method is feather tip salt tray writing. In this method, we must fill a tray with salt and put it on the table and ask each and every student to come and write one word on the salt. By this, the student will come, he will have fun, he will get interest in writing on the salt, he will write one word and he will complete, and the other students will look after this. By this, all the students of the class will learn many things. Now, anyone has any problem? Any questions? The other point is alphabet ball. Yes? Nothing, right? And the next one is alphabet ball. In this alphabet ball, this is a fun yet simple game to get your child to build some gross motor skills by working on their letter and vocabulary. Simply pick a ball and find an open space outside to throw or hit the ball. One person throws the ball, and as they do this, they will get out a letter. The adult calls out a letter and the child responds with a word that begins with that letter. In this game, one child will throw a ball. As he throws the ball, the other child will take a letter from the jar in which many letters will be kept. The one letter he will take and give it to that boy. That boy will open that letter and see what is written. The child responds with a word that begins with that letter. And the alphabet written in the letter, the child will make a sentence or a word from that alphabet. After the word is called, the adult tosses the ball to the child. When the adult responds with an appropriate word, the child throws the ball back to the adult. Now the other one is magic letter painting. A fun way to use crayons, wax, resist art to introduce your toddler to first letters. As they paint over the paper, the letters magically appear and your child will become more familiar with their shapes and forms. In this letter, we must draw it in a chart or a page, and we must fold that page and pack it in a letter and give one letter to each student, and each student will get a different kinds of pictures, and when they will open that magic letter, they will get different pictures which they have to paint, and by painting that they will have a fun and they will know about the colors, the names and the combination, and their imagine skills also will be developed by this magic letter painting. The next one is letter magic archaeology game. In this, we will give the students some cards type letters and we will ask to first draw the remaining part of the letter. As they will complete, we must ask them, go and ask to your peer group if they also have the same letter and match with them. By doing this, they will find the objects which are not by their fingerprints and make a picture. By this, their motor skills will be developed, their imagination level will be developed, and they will know how to make the pictures, and they will imagine first and start drawing. And the next one is number match slab game. Here in number match slab game, the students will be given the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the number names of the number will be written. They will match 1 to anyone, then 2 to TWO2, and like this. They will know that numbers and their number names, and they will understand the mathematical things. And the 16th one is word families with ping pong balls. We all know that ping pong balls, ping pong balls by which we play Fiji. It is which way it's a rubber ball.
Which can be compressed and squeezed.
Yes. By that ball, they will play and have a fun in the between of the teaching learning process. By this, they will have some recess, and their interest level will never go down, and they will take interest and learn all the things. The next one is alphabet rocks. By this, like rocks in wooden things, A, B, C, everything is written, and the student is asked to go to the rock and take one rock and form a sentence, a word, or write their name, write their school's name. By this, they will know where and how the word will be, the alphabet will be used. The next one is triple casing name fun, and by this method, they will know the meaning of the word. Like if we give them one word and we must ask them to give examples from this, 3 examples from this word. So different children will start giving different examples, different words, different meanings. By this, the other student will also learn. One student will give one example, the other student will give another example. By this, whole the class will learn the 3 examples, and the whole class will participate in teaching learning process. The next one is beginning sounds spelling stick. In this game, the one student will say any one alphabet, and if he is saying A, the other student must paint anything by that alphabet. Like if he says B, so the other student must paint B for ball. So he has to draw a circle and name it as a ball. By this game, all the students will get interested, and all the students will participate in this game. If the boy says Z, or if the boy said T, so the student have to draw any one picture from that alphabet. And if the boy says C, he has to draw from the alphabet C and color it and name that drawing with the starting alphabet C. And the next one is letter bingo. This is a very interesting game in which every student will say one letter. In this game, the students are divided into different parts. One student will start this game with a song. After starting with a song, the other student, the letter which comes in the end of that song, the first group will start one letter from one word from that alphabet, and the next group will also start saying one And the next one is alphabet kaboom. In this plate, it's like carrom board. All the alphabets will be arranged in a carrom board, and one tiger will be given to the student, and he will ask to kick it, and the student will sit and start doing this. Now the last one is how to deal with kids. The main problem for pre-primary teachers is how to deal with them, because the students are of only 3 years. They don't know anything. First time they started coming to school, interacting with adults. They also don't know that she is my teacher, she is my class teacher. They nothing know. She only knows that he is adult, he is bigger than me. So the teachers must keep a nice relationship with the students. And how to deal with kids, the first point is to help children to deal with their emotions. The teachers must not scold them. The teachers are always requested to talk to them, to play with them. They must have a fun, they must understand the student's emotions, what he is thinking, what he has to do, how capable he is now according to this. The teacher must teach them. The next one is ways to parents may try to get the children to cooperate. We must also talk to their parents and ask the parents the ways, how the parents will act to their children at the home, how will they talk. We must also teach the parents how to behave with their children. To get your child to cooperate without damaging her self-esteem. And we must, if any children is so active, so talented, we must not ask them to keep quiet, to sit down, not to perform the activities. We must always respect the children's eligibility and always respect their eligibility and teach according to them. The next one is what are alternates to punishments. And in the preschooling, we can also give them punishments, but the punishments must be funny. Like if the student is needed to be punished, so call him and ask him to say some story which I have taught yesterday, to go and play outside. We must not give him any mental pressure, because if we do like this, he will start learning from the teaching learning process, and he will not come to school from the next day. So the teachers are responsible to perform all the activities this week. The next one is to help children to deal with their emotions. Now, in one play, I told that slide is play. The children will know how to deal with their emotions. In this method, ways to parents may try to get the children to cooperate. We must give some ways to the parents how they will react with their children. And the last one is to get your child to cooperate without damaging her self-esteem. We must cooperate the children in all the ways, in the playing, in the teaching learning process, in the 25 games which you organize